Well, Lucy and I just got done walking this beautiful piece of land. It's that time of the year. I'm putting a lot of property on the market. And I'm also taking a lot of calls. And a lot of the calls revolve around, how do you pay for a piece of land? Can you get financing? Where do I find the money? Can I bring it out of equity that I have in other dealings, other pieces of property, homes, whatever? But one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the use of partnerships when you're buying a piece of land. So that's today's topic, partnerships, and how you can use it to your advantage to buy your own piece of American land. So let's talk about partnerships. You know, partnerships can be a great way to get into property. You could pool money, pool resources. They can help do the work, hang tree stands, cut shooting lanes, bring in banks blinds and set them up, even help build a cabin. But one of the most important decisions to make prior to getting into any partnership is compatibility. Do you guys share the same vision? Do you share the same vision for hunting? Is one guy looking just to have a good time? Is another one looking for Boone and Crockett deer? Are you looking for a short turnover where you might have the property for a couple years, or are you looking to keep it for 30 years and never turn it over and pass it on to your kids? It's so important to establish those roles and make those clear delineations of how that partnership is going to work, up to and including writing it down and having a lawyer review it. So make sure you take that step first. So let's say you're like a lot of guys out here, you don't have a lot of money. What do you bring to the table? Could you possibly offer this partnership? Well, I could tell you probably that one of the most important partners in the entire team is the guy with the hustle. You go out and you find these properties, you tour them, you check them out, you know the markets, you do all the research, and you bring all that information back to your team and present it. So never underestimate the power of hustle, because a lot of partnerships lack that guy. Everybody wants to be the money guy or maybe the fix-it guy and do a little sweat equity, but the guy that has the hustle finds the deal, and that's worth something. Okay, so you've done the work and you found the property. What does your hustle bring to the deal? Well, it's worth something, of course. And if you're working maybe with early stages of a partnership, maybe it's worth less. But as the partnership grows and more property comes in and you're out there hustling and you're finding these deals and you show your value, maybe your equity is worth more. At the beginning, I would say your hustle is worth 10% on that first deal. Eventually, it might be 15, 20, 25% over a course of a couple deals. But at the beginning, start slow. Find the deals, come in with a little bit of equity, and then roll that into the next. If you tell that to the money guy, he's going to be more apt to lend you the money. Let's talk about that next, the money man. Okay, the money guy's got the deep pockets, and we all look for them. You know, I meet a lot of people out here that are looking for ways to deploy their assets. If they're cash rich, they just can't find the deals. Well, you're the hustler. Bring them the deal. Come to them and say, I'd like a short-term loan from you. And for that, they usually will want a fairly high interest rate. We're talking 10 or 12% and sometimes higher, whereas a bank will lend you money at 3 to 4, maybe 5%. The cost of money is higher, but it gets you started. So find your money guy, offer him terms, show him the deal, and find your first piece of property. All right, the next type of partner is the equity partner. Equity partners are simple. You find the deal, they got the money, you split the equity down the middle. Now, equity partners usually don't want to do anything. And for the equity that you're going to gain, because you put nothing in the deal, you're going to do all of the work. You're going to trim the trails, mow, log, hang the tree stands, put up the bank's blinds, everything that it takes to set that property up so you can eventually sell it and your equity partner can get his equity back and you can get your own. But he's not going to lift a finger in the process. So equity partners can be great, but you're going to be putting a lot of sweat equity into the deal. And the most common partnership is the mixed money and equity partnership. That's where you go out with one of your buddies. You find the property, you both decide to buy it, you each put in some money, and then you help improve the property. You hang the stands, you cut the trails, you do the shooting lane, and you both enjoy it along the way. And eventually when you sell it, you split the money. Now it could be a 50-50 deal, it could be a 70-30 deal. I mean, it could be anything that you want to be. The point here is that you both got a little skin in the game in the form of cash, and you're both helping out on the process of improving that property and making it better. And in the end, you're both going to win. Well, there you have it, partnerships. What a great way to get into a piece of property with little or no money down, or perhaps some sweat equity. It may be the single best way for you to get into your first piece of property, or perhaps buy your 10th. But before you get in there, make sure you know what's happening. Write out the rules, have an agreement drafted up by a lawyer, know all the what ifs, because while it could be the best way ever to get into a property, it could also be the worst nightmare of your life. Hey, it's fall. You hear the guy shooting in the background. I'm Neil Hauger, and I'm a land specialist with Whitetail Properties Real Estate. We're talking about partnerships, and you've been watching The American Landman. Come on, Nuki, let's go.